guys, welcome back to KTV Network. Today I am reacting to Mass Effect 3, reviewing all characters who replaced dead squadmates. So, this is from, I assume, Big Dan Gaming. Yes, of course. So let's go ahead and continue this reaction.
I'm going to take a look at all the characters who replaced dead squadmates in Mass Effect 3. Just to be clear, none of these characters are playable squadmates, but they will replace your dead companions during cutscenes in the third game. Keep watching to see it all. What's up, everyone? Big Dan here. Before we begin, I wanted to let you know I created a second YouTube channel called Big Dan Clips. On this channel, I'll be posting YouTube shorts, stream highlights, and other Let's dive right in. Excluding the Vermeer survivor, 14 different squadmates can die before the events of Mass Effect 3. Today, we're going to look at the characters who replace your companions when they give up the ghost. I'm not going to discuss the Vermeer survivor in this video because that's an obvious one. If Kaidan dies, the role is filled by Ashley, and if Ash gets nuked, then Kaidan takes her place in Mass Effect 2 and 3. We've all seen it before. But let's start by talking about Rex's replacement, Urdnot Reeve. If Rex died on Vermeer or wasn't recruited in Mass Effect 1, then he will be replaced by his brother, Reeve, who rises to the top of Clan Urdnot. Reeve is kind of an asshole. While we don't see much of his personality in Mass Effect 2, he plays a major role during the story in Mass Effect 3. Reeve is a stereotypical Krogan, aggressive and out for blood. While Rex sought to unite the clans and show the galaxy a different side of the Krogan, Reeve takes a quite different approach. He seeks to bludgeon his way to the top, cure the genophage to increase his own power, and breed an army of Krogan to wage war against the Turians, Salarians, and all who oppose him. Interestingly, you can gain the maximum amount of war assets from priority to Chunka if Reeve is the only one in power. If Rex and Eve both died, you can convince Mordin to sabotage the genophage, thus securing him as a war asset in addition to the Salarian First Fleet. Reeve will never discover the sabotage, so the Krogan will still support you in the end as well. Reeve is a thoroughly dislikable but well-written character who definitely makes things interesting. Aside from Reeve, the most fleshed out squadmate replacement has to be Paddock Wix, who will take over Mordin's role during the genophage storyline in Mass Effect 3. Wix will still be in the game if Mordin is alive, but you can only speak to him briefly during Priority Sirkesh. However, if Mordin died in Mass Effect 2, Wix will join you on the Normandy and help develop a cure for the genophage. The most memorable thing about Wix is his odd obsession with Krogan mating practices.
I'm hoping it will inspire a resurgence in Krogan sex. I've always wondered how they mated.
Sir,
not what I meant. No, but you were probably thinking it. And now's our chance. In the interest of science, how do Krogan mate?
Very clumsily.
And there we have it. Could be worth writing a paper someday.
But aside from that, he also has some interesting views on Krogan politics, as well as some fun stories from his STG days, including a bar fight he got into with Mordin. Wix is the best Mass Effect 3 replacement character in my opinion. It's just a shame we have to lose our favorite scientist Salarian in order to really get to know Paddock. If Grunt died or wasn't let out of the tank in Mass Effect 2, another Krogan named Urdnot Dag will lead Arlak Company in Mass Effect 3. There isn't a whole lot to say about Dag that is noteworthy. He's excited to take on the Rachni, and he's guaranteed to die during the mission where you encounter the Queen. His last words are literally, "Time to die."
Time to die.
After the mission, Rex barely even cares that Dag died. He's just like, "Heard Dag didn't make it. Oh well, hell of a fight, Shepard." If the psychotic Biotic got bodied during the final mission of Mass Effect 2, her role during the Grissom Academy mission will be played by one of the students, Jason Prangley, aka Ginger Jack. Prangley is one of the top students at Grissom and was specifically targeted for capture by Cerberus according to a logbook we can find during the mission. Ginger Jack leads a heroic charge at the end of the mission to save another student.
Interesting, because they're both called Jack. But I'm gonna keep Jack alive.
Rodriguez. Unfortunately, as you make your escape, Homeboy gets ganked by a Cerberus soldier, and you just leave his ass there on the tarmac. R.I.P., buddy. R.I.P. If, goddess forbid, Garrus died during Mass Effect 2, then his lines during Priority Palaven will be replaced by the Turian General Corinthus. Also, since Garrus isn't available as a squadmate for the mission, when Joker radios to inform Shepard that EDI is going haywire, Liara doesn't go back to the ship and the commander just tells him to sit tight. You'll also get some unique dialogue with Traynor after Priority to Chunka during a scene where Garrus usually tells Shepard to get some rest. This is a terrible thing to experience firsthand because we all know Garrus is irreplaceable. If, goddess forbid, Tali kicks the bucket in Mass Effect 2, it changes the dynamics of the Geth-Quarian conflict in Mass Effect 3. For starters, she will not be with you during the Geth Dreadnought mission, nor the final mission on Rannoch. Her roles are replaced by Quarian Admirals Zen and Ron. Zen is voiced by Claudia Black, who played Morgan in the Dragon Age series as well. She will accompany us during the Geth Dreadnought mission, but stay out of the fighting entirely. I guess she was more of an academic anyway. During the end of the Geth-Quarian War, after you destroy the Reaper, Admiral Ron will be there to greet Shepard on Rannoch. Without Tali, peace is not an available option, so you'll have to choose a side in the conflict. If you side with the Quarians, Ron blasts Legion with a shotgun. And if you side with the Geth, She shoots herself, which barely registers a response from Shepard. So yeah, be sure to keep Tali alive because this outcome is not cool, man. If Legion died, or wasn't activated, or was sold to Cerberus, it will be replaced by a VI reconstruction of Legion's personality, which has a weird glowing hologram where Legion wore Shepard's armor. Interacting with this thing is just odd, to say the least. Also, just like Tali, if Legion is not around, then there is no option for peace on Rannoch. There is no touching, does this unit have a soul conversation at the end of the mission either. The VI Legion simply appeals to Shepard by saying the Geth have a stronger fleet and the Quarians cannot be trusted. If you side with the Geth, it thanks you for trusting it. If you side with the Quarians, then either Tali or Ron will kill it. Either way, this outcome is just inferior to having Legion around. If Thane died during Mass Effect 2, then his dialogue at the beginning of Priority the Citadel 2 will be replaced by Commander Bailey, who warns all ships to stay away from the station since Cerberus took over. Thane's absence also impacts the scene where Kai Lang attempts to assassinate the Solarian Counselor. If you save Kirrahe on Vermeer in Mass Effect 1, then he will sacrifice himself to save the Counselor.
Kirrahe!
If Thane and Kirrahe are both dead, however, then Kai Lang kills the Counselor, and Udina uses fabricated video footage to make it look like Shepard did it. This makes it harder to convince Ashley or Kaidan to stand down during the standoff at the end of the mission. If Miranda didn't survive the Collector base, then her role during the Sanctuary mission will be replayed by her sister in Mass Effect 3. Interestingly, without Miranda there, Oriana can actually die at the end of this mission.
Let me go!
Oriana!
No!
No!
Alternatively, you can let Henry Lawson survive, which is only possible without Miranda, though I'm not sure why you'd want that outcome. Did you send Jacob into the vents at the end of Mass Effect 2? If so, then he'll be replaced by Dr. Weber, aka Old Jake, during the mission to rescue a group of defecting scientists from Cerberus. The guy barely says anything during the mission, and everything is pretty much the same, except that without Jacob there, Bryn won't trust Shepard enough to let you in, and you'll have to fight an extra wave of Cerberus troops at the start of the mission to prove your loyalty. If Kasumi died, or you didn't have the Stolen Memory DLC, then her role is vacant in Mass Effect 3. Throughout the mission to uncover an indoctrinated Hanar, Shepard will only communicate with John Dumbao, the Solarian Spectre. At the end of the mission, instead of Kasumi rushing in to save the day, Shepard will have to choose between saving the Hanar homeworld from internal sabotage or preventing John Dumbao from getting choked to death. Either way, you finish the mission with less war assets and support than you would have if Kasumi were still alive. If Zaid died in Mass Effect 2, then his role is vacated as well. Throughout the mission to confront Volus Ambassador Din Korlak, Shepard will rush into the apartment and save him from a random group of mercs. But without Zaid there as backup, the commander will have to choose between gaining the Volus bomber fleet or saving the Turian colony of Aphis. Finally, if Samara or Morinth died during the suicide mission in Mass Effect 2, then you will only deal with Falere during the Ardat Yakshi monastery mission in Mass Effect 3. Interestingly, this mission plays out identically even if Morinth is alive. The only difference is some additional emails from Morinth and her appearance as a Banshee during Priority Earth. Otherwise, the Ardat Yakshi mission is far less interesting without Samara around. Shepard doesn't even have any lines like, "Hey, I used to know your mother," or anything like that. It's always interesting to look at these parallel universes and alternate outcomes in Mass Effect 3. While most of these replacement characters don't have that much flavor or added dialogue, it's interesting to see how much additional content BioWare had to create to accommodate for all the squadmates who could potentially die before Mass Effect 3. And some people like Paddock Wicks and Erdnot Reeve are incredibly well fleshed out, unique characters in their own right. So there you have it, a look at all the characters who replaced dead squadmates in Mass Effect 3. If you like this video,
that's pretty legit. That's pretty legit. Alright, let me know what you think about this video down in the comments below. Let me know what other gaming videos or media-related content you want me to react to. Like, subscribe if you like. Come today, and I will see you guys on live streams eventually. Take care of yourselves and thanks for stopping by.